Thought I heard the people say, pay me my silver now.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadtoruler.com, with your sip of chaga coffee. Little temper tantrum from the commercials today. Yes, last week the commercials increased their short position by 22 million. Now, this is the top three commercials, the main riggers. Increased their short position by 22 million ounces, and this is what happens. Then they instigate a crash. It goes below moving averages, and at the end of the day, same old, same old. Rinse, wash, repeat. Yes, of course, it's illegal to manipulate the price of gold and silver. But we've been seeing it since, at least since the invention of computer trading back in the 70s. It's a click of a mouse to do this. They could click a mouse and put the price of silver to minus $40. They did for oil. Why couldn't they do it for silver? They can also click a mouse and put the price of silver at $1 million per ounce. So that's why you can't even watch the price of silver. The insanity of it all is insane. But that's the matrix we live in right now, so that's what we're going to have to deal with. Clearly, they were gunning for, right here, the 100-day moving average. They got it right here. Bang, 100-day moving average. What happens after that? All the tech traders will go short. After it drops below the moving averages, the tech traders go short, allowing the commercials to close out their short positions. The same thing's been going on for a zillion years. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing to the regulators if they had a half a brain. Or they're just criminal. Now, it used to be that it was the half a brain part on the comics. the CFTC, the regulator for the comics, the CFTC literally had half a brain amongst them to share. And then a couple smart guys and then a couple criminal guys came in. Same shit, different day. You can't watch price if you're a silver investor. Great time, obviously, to pick up silver $1 cheaper. So every 25 ounces, 22 ounces you buy, 23 ounces you buy, you're going to get an extra ounce because of what they did today. How long will this last? Not very long, because they didn't go short all that much. They only added another 22 million. I think they will gun for the 200-day moving average, which is $24.50. And if they can break through that, that's when the massive short covering comes in. So when you think about it, if you're not going to sell tomorrow, you want these slams. Why? Because that allows the good guys to get out of their, or the bad guys to get out of their short position. Why do you want the bad guys to get out of their short position? The sooner they're out of their short position, the sooner we can move up. Yes, of course it's criminal, but we live in a criminal world. The insanity of what goes on. I was reading the news today. I didn't even want to talk about it. It's like we live in a matrix. And to understand the matrix and to thrive in the matrix, you have to know what's real and what's fake. The price of silver, as determined on the COMEX, is fake. Let's take a look at what volumes are right here. This is about 360 million ounces, almost half of the silver mined every year, got traded yesterday. Yes, it's that insane. It wasn't even a huge day. The COMEX is where the criminal activity happens. They want to expand their power into cryptos. One of the COMEX, the head of the CFTC, I remember this, he came out one day and said, we have to have derivative markets for cryptos, otherwise the price would just keep going up. Basically, that's admitting that the derivatives rig the price of silver. Otherwise, the price will just keep going up. Oh, darn. Heaven forbid. I know you like your control world, Mr. Regulator, but the reality is you have too many criminals working for you. And there's too many ties. Look at all the CFTC, that's the government regulator, people involved in the FTX drama. The FTX was employing CFTC employees right out of they got after the revolving door bullshit. It is insane what these people get away with, and one day they won't get away with it, and that's the day we're waiting for. Really interesting. Harvey Organ's blog is great, by the way, harveyorganblog.com. He tracks where the real silver deliveries are happening, because they aren't happening on the COMEX. They have these things called exchange for physical, where you can take your COMEX contract, and you don't want the visibility of being delivered on the COMEX, because people will know that JP Morgan and Bank of America and Citibank are controlling the markets. So what do? They set up a thing called exchange for physical. You take your derivative contract on the COMEX, you send it over to the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association in London, completely fraud organization. It's not even an exchange, it's an organization, because they couldn't get away with what they do, which is all the criminality. And that's where you take delivery. And Harvey tracks this. Just last week, they had a huge exchange for physical of close to 25, I think it's 24 million ounces. Taking delivery. So far in June, 70 million ounces have been delivered on the LBMA, which would be a massive full month in a delivery month, but this isn't a delivery month on the COMEX. The LBMA is different. Who knows if this is real or not? Nobody. Because the LBMA lies about their numbers as well. But that's the way they're getting around the delivery requirements, is this exchange for physical criminality. It looks like June's going to shape up to be over 100 million ounces. And that's like the average over, it's like every month. People ask, where's all this silver coming from, Bix? You got me. Is it really being delivered? Is it fake silver? How many COMEX 1,000-ounce bars are real and how many are fake? I know in gold, there's massive amounts of fake gold bars. Every single country around the world has fake gold bars in their coffers. Because everybody's afraid to drill into a gold bar. Oh, you're going to ruin the beauty of this precious thing. That's great for people who want to make fake gold bars. How many fake silver COMEX bars are there? I don't know. It's really unknown at this point. I would imagine a lot of them. I remember the Royal Canadian Mint came out. That's the Canadian U.S. Mint type of thing, another criminal organization, came out and said they had lost all these ounces of silver. And what actually happened is they're melting down COMEX bars, and they found out that some of these bars weren't even full silver. So they had to say, how are we going to get out of this? We got to say, oh, yeah, we lost track, an accounting error. It is insane what they get away with, again. But I've been dealing with this crap for over 20 years. I've been through Hurricane Sandy, Michael Dunn, the Mr. Magoo of the CFTC. When he left the CFTC, he went right to the DTCC, Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. That's the company that holds all the assets of the world, in a division, shall we say, called Seed and Company. Like your mortgage, if you have a mortgage, is under the name Seed and Company. You're seeding your assets over to the criminals. But Michael Dunn went to be in charge of the vault at 55 Water Street. Hurricane Sandy came in, and Michael Dunn left the vault door open, flooding $33 trillion worth of bonds and other financial instruments. $33 trillion. If they can get away with a crime like that, $33 trillion crime. Oh, by the way, after Hurricane Sandy came in, and obviously Michael Dunn left the door open because water couldn't get in otherwise, they opened the vault, pumped all the water out, and then they set it on fire. You can't make this shit up. Look it up. Hurricane Sandy, 55 Water Street, the DTCC paper trail. Because nothing matters to them. Like I said, the good guys and the bad guys want this game to end. The good guys want this game to end to take the bad guys out. The bad guys want it to end to hide their crimes. And there's more and more crimes every day. So we will see. A lot coming out about JP Morgan and Epstein, and the past, the Podestas and that stuff. I love it. Twitter is actually posting this stuff now, which is great. Jenny has always said that when silver will be cut free when the people are exposed to what our elites have been doing with the kids. And it's bad. It's the worst thing you can even imagine. So that's their cult that they live in. So yeah, I do expect over 100 million silver delivery, 100 million ounces in silver deliveries on the LBMA through. This is just through the COMEX exchange for physicals. They have their own problems and issues over at the LBMA. That's where a lot of the Eastern silver and the European silver, everybody and their mother is buying silver now. China is hoarding it like you wouldn't believe. And they're actually being more open and honest about their exchanges. The Shanghai Silver Exchange is actually publishing the fact that they have warehouses and how quickly it's depleting. So keep an eye on that. Yes, it's I don't know if it's hard because I see it as the opposite. When they slam silver like this, that means the criminals are accomplish what they wanted to do, get the price lower so they can cover their shorts. And that's the whole idea now. If you look over the past 2 years since the silver squeeze, warehouse inventories are disappearing. And by the way, the silver short position by the top 3 largest traders on the commercial side are disappearing as well. So this is good. It's good these slams down are good because that brings us closer to the end game. The end game, the criminals that control the markets want to be at least flat even with no short positions or even better long. And if they can get the tech traders to go short while they close out their full short position and go long, that's the best of both worlds because the tech traders won't be able to cover. And remember, every long you can lose 100% of what you bet on every long. On every short, you can lose infinity money. You think the banks want to be on that side of the trade when silver blows through $1,000 an ounce? Do you think the banks really want to be on the short side? No. They know this game is almost over. So they're trying to get out, and they're doing a good job, but sometimes they have to increase their short for the slam, and then they can cover and keep the price under control. And that's what they've been doing. A tale as old as time, as they say. Okay. Really interesting here. European Investment Bank hit by cyber attack after Russian hackers vowed to bring down the financial system. Of course, it's Russian hackers. I do believe that in game you won't know the price of anything. It is clear to me that the in game won't be, the Dow dropping to 1,000 or silver going to $500 or $600. The in game will be cyber attacks, but we don't know the price of anything. And everything goes into chaos. Now, can we get out of it? Yes, the good guys have been planning for this for a very long time. I think Veritasium will take a key role in the future. I don't know if the Veritasium token will be used, though. I think Reggie Middleton's technology of peer-to-peer transactions that he patented, and the U.S. actually awarded him the patent, and Japan has awarded Reggie 2 patents on this technology. It was going to change the world back when Reggie invented it. He was talking with he had a memorandum of understanding with the Jamaican Stock Exchange that they were going to implement peer-to-peer transactions on the blockchain using Veritasium. And because Reggie worked with the CFTC or the SEC said, come in, work with us, and we'll, that's how you go, do this all right. The SEC went behind Reggie's back on all his deals because Reggie told him about the deals and told the Jamaican Stock Exchange, and I think it was the DAX also, the European Stock Exchange that Reggie was working with. They told both of them to get rid of Veritasium. Do not do it. And then they hammered Reggie, and he's been in purgatory ever since. 98 million Veritasium tokens still frozen. Of course, they don't need those tokens. Right now, Reggie is banned from dealing in any tokens. It's such a criminal game when we could have smoothly transitioned into a peer-to-peer system for stocks and bonds and gold and silver and all that. And who am I kidding? It's not going to be, it won't be smooth. It absolutely won't be smooth because the bad guys don't know how to live without rigging markets. And peer-to-peer transactions would get rid of the market rigging. That's why I'm a gigantic fan of Veritasium and Reggie Middleton and the people who are working so hard to defend Reggie. Check out Litecoin Lisa's channel for that. There's some great people who are fighting the fight. And I think ultimately they'll win because I think the good guys are going to win. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. European Investment Bank. I was like, who the hell's European Investment Bank? And I don't get it. So I was reading it. European Investment Bank has been hit by a cyber attack suspected to have been orchestrated from Russia. That's all bullshit, of course. Days after threats to bring down the Western financial system. An EIB spokesman confirmed it was currently facing a cyber attack affecting the availability of some of its websites. The attack comes days after Russian-speaking hackers threatened to launch cyber attacks against Western financial institutions over support of Ukraine. You don't know if this is real or not. Who really controls, who has the strongest computer to rig markets to do cyber attacks and all that? I think the NSA does. I do think the NSA was in on the invention of cryptos, or at least Bitcoin at the beginning. They obviously knew about it, and they knew about it long before, like the invention of Bitcoin. It's not like the all the military and defense part of the United States cyber world. It's not like they didn't know about the movement towards a cryptocurrency and the double spin problem that Bitcoin solved. They were involved from day one. And let's not delude ourselves that they don't have any power today. Alan Greenspan actually was the first computer programmer to invent the electronic monetary system. That's why he had so much power and why he was put as the head of the Fed. Why would you put the biggest gold bug in the world as the head of the Fed unless he controlled the computer programs? Back then. And 2 months after he was put as head of the Fed in 1987, we had the Black Monday computer-controlled stock market crash of 1987. That was Alan Greenspan clicking a mouse. So how much do they have? How much power does the Western cyber people have? They have ultimate power. So it's a click of a mouse to set any price at any place with computers and derivatives. I've been screaming this for so long. Sometimes people listen, sometimes they don't. That's why you can't look at price at all. That's why silver's trading at less than one half of its all-time high from 1980. How much money has been printed in financial instruments? I mean, just the derivative side is what, 2.5 quadrillion? Nobody really knows how much derivatives there are. But we do know that $2.5 quadrillion implosion nothing can survive that. As Buffett calls it, the weapon of mass financial destruction. Great term for that. And it's absolutely 100% true. All right, so I looked into who is the European Investment Bank. European Investment Bank is the European Union's development bank and owned by the EU member states. So it's kind of like the Bank of China, owned by the Chinese government. The EU, the European Investment Bank, is the Bank of China for Europe. It's the Bank of Europe, and it basically gets money from all these countries and invests in the insanity of, when they say development, it's the ESG stuff, all the environmentally sensitive crap that are losing massive amounts of money. So it could be an internal thing. Oh yeah, we expect a tax. Here's an attack. Now we get to erase a bunch of stuff that we did criminally, and then we can clean our books. That's probably what's going on right now. Not sure. Don't know. This is going to be probably by September, the third quarter. You're going to hear this everywhere that trillions of dollars will be lost in commercial real estate. Probably residential as well. Absolutely. Even though they're printing a lot of money. If the banks aren't lending, nobody's buying a house. I was never a fan of the appreciation of your house. Why? Because it's all a monetary thing. The only reason housing prices have gone up is because the banks are so willing and able to create money out of thin air and lend it to you. If you can buy a house with cash, imagine a world where the banks don't lend for housing anymore, or governments don't give free payouts for down payment and stuff like that. In that world, a house would financially, monetarily do what it's supposed to do, depreciate over time. There's literally trillions of dollars, and a lot of this is at the mid-tier banks. We're going to hear a lot more about commercial property, especially the big cities. Wall Street sours on America's downtowns. The pessimism from investors who bet on office buildings and mass transit can be seen in market signals that are flashing red. Investors are paying less for bonds linked to New York subways and buses. Downtown-focused real estate investment trusts trade at less than half their pre-pandemic levels. Bondholders are demanding extra interest to hold office building debt. Downtowns have been a motherlode of American cities for over the years, providing billions of dollars in tax revenue along with their distinctive skylines. In turn, investors who bet on downtown office towers or the trains and buses delivering workers to them could generally trust that they held a winning hand. Now, with white-collar workers spending more time in their homes, a phenomenon that shows few signs of ending, investments like downtown are trading at falling prices in volatile markets. I would also add that most of these large cities are run by these crazy Democrats who are intent on destroying that city. I live near Oakland and near San Francisco. I would be very much surprised to see them even functioning in 10 years. I think they'll all be abandoned within 10 years. Imagine that, San Francisco abandoned, because it's already overrun. Nobody can run a business in San Francisco. And oh, by the way, it's not safe at all. Who would vacation there? And that's while things are still up and running. Imagine if the banks went down and the governments were in chaos. What would all those people in the city, wherever they go, they would try to get out of the city. And then you have the threat of war from Russia. Yeah, they're not going to blow up some country farm. They're going to blow up the downtown areas. Do I think it'll come to war? Nah, I don't. But could it? Absolutely. I mean, these people are freaking crazy. They'll do anything as a last-ditch effort to survive with their criminal cult. And we've been seeing that. So, crazy stuff. This almost made me sick. Hunter Biden to plead guilty to federal tax charges. So they have all this dirt on making millions and millions of dollars off foreign investors, and they're going to charge him with federal tax charges, a misdemeanor. By the way, you know what they're charging him with? He didn't file taxes for 2 years. Who gets away with that shit? And it's a slap on the head. We're going to give him, no jail time. It's so ridiculous, the whole thing. The whole thing is so ridiculous. But that's where we are. A deal with prosecutors marks culminating of years-long investigation by Trump-appointed U.S. attorney. The Wall Street Journal is such a crazy leftist rag. Why do I still subscribe to it? I don't know. You got to know both sides of the battle. And I read these articles. It's just, it's so embarrassing. The reporting. I loved when the reporters, I think it was in the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times, got all these awards, Pulitzer Prizes for investigative journalism into Trump. It was so odd and weird, and just shows you these awards that people get are all part of the game. It's all part of the plan. And it's insane. The dumbest. It's already been proven false. Are they going to give back all their special? I got an award. I got a Pulitzer Prize. Insane. On a happier note, I did see this up on eBay. Road to Ruta coin, the silver Ruta coin. Somebody's selling it for $3,333. I think I'll buy it just for fun. No, I'm not going to buy it. But you can get yours at roadtoruta.com for a 1-year subscription. It's $2.99 for a year. The coolest coin ever made. I think it will be a collector's item at some point. When the Road to Ruta theory becomes accepted as fact, and people come out and say, yes, this is what was going on. We had to take out the bad guys. We had to run the financial system from the background in order to make the transition away from this criminal unbacked fiat monetary system to something new. And go back to our roots. Root A, the basis of any financial system has to be built on something strong, something sound like gold, silver, maybe even cryptos, maybe even, I don't know about Bitcoin. The problem with Bitcoin, and I've been saying this, it hasn't evolved, as if anything, Bitcoin has devolved with the core developers being in charge, which I don't trust at all. And crypto shouldn't be a trust thing. So there's a lot to go down in the crypto space. I think definitely silver will be the number one asset to own to ride out the chaos. After the chaos, that's when cryptos are going to be really worth their while. A lot of them are crap. They'll get taken out, but there are the infrastructure for cryptocurrencies, crypto technology in the future. That is our future. And there's no turning back now. So I heard BlackRock is now getting deep into Bitcoin, and they're a criminal organization, but they got a lot of money too. So I think they're setting up an ETF to control the price. It's insanity run wild. So what do? You buy physical silver, get it in your own possession. You hold a couple cryptos for the end of the chaos, and then we move forward. If you don't have a local guy, go local first. And you got $1 off today. Go local first. Get to know your local guys. If you don't have a local guy, use my guy, Andy Scheckman, Miles Franklin. He's helped so many Road to Ruta people. Send him an email, info at milesfranklin.com, milesfranklin.com. And he'll get your ass into silver, physical silver, in your own possession. I'll mail it to your front door. And I trust Andy that you're getting the real thing. You can't trust a lot of people these days. I trust Andy 100%. All right. This is Bix Weir. I'll talk to you later.